Thropples, booty rubs, and tears have been the themes of the past few episodes of Temptation Island, and we're going to dive into all of it on this episode of Tula Unfiltered, Temptation Island edition. I'm your host, Lauren Tula Poindexter. And guys, we have so much to dive into today. I want to first welcome my co host, Robert Lay, who's going to be joining me. And later on in the show, we're going to have a special guest joining us. But first, Raro, welcome to the show again. Girl, we got some stuff to talk about.
Hey, girl. Hey, we have so much to catch up on. I don't even know where to start.
I do.
Right.
Exactly. So we left off on episode 4, Blake the Fake. Now, episode 5, Three's Company. That episode, we first of all, let me just pause for a second because they caught me slipping. They caught me sharing my feelings about Julian to Tom. You guys, do you have the clip? Can we play this clip really quickly? Do we have the clip?
Julian, I genuinely want the best for him and his girlfriend. But don't get me wrong, if you were single, I'd smash that tail up real quick, okay?
Nice to see you all.
Yes, so I have to tell you, at that point, me and Julian had definitely been having like great conversations, had been connecting with one another, and I really felt like, like in the middle, like I sincerely understood why he was on the show, like just the different battles that him and Kristen were going through, and I'm like, you know what? If that man was single, like for real single,
Listen,
I would have smashed that tail up real quick. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I was secretly rooting, but then, everything works out how it works out. But I was like, I don't know. Can they end up together? Will they end up together? So I'm still wondering. I'm like, what's gonna go on these next couple of episodes?
But honestly, I thought it was very funny, and honestly, in that moment, like it was kind of like an epiphany moment for me because I hadn't really connected with someone like on a romantic level in such a long time. So that was like nerve-wracking for me to feel those feels and share it with people.
Right.
But we also saw in episode 5, Three's Company. Well, first of all, we had our first elimination.
Yeah.
The homies left, Lauren, Katrina, Izzy. They left the island on the first round of eliminations. And then from the guys' villa, Tom, Trent, Rocky, and Evan were eliminated. And these guys, first of all, they did not go down without a fight. Like,
not taking them at all.
Oh, I'm like, I feel like the single guys are like way more catty than the girls.
That is literally the word that I had in my head. I was like, they were just so catty. And like, I was like, oh, wow. Like,
just go home. Like,
I was not expecting that, but I feel like they kind of already gave off that attitude from the very beginning, even the little conversations they were having in the conversationals or the confessionals, and then even like the little squat up or huddle ups that they were having.
Yeah, like they were hot, and I didn't like that.
Yeah, very side eye, like what is going on?
Right. So that happened in episode 5. And then also, so after the eliminations, we had a Vegas themed party in the guys' villa. Now, some of the people literally took it. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas very seriously. And, all I have to say is on national TV, let me tell you, I woke up this morning and was like, wait, where was my roommate, Nicole? Come to find out, a throuple happened. They had some adult cuddles. Alexis, Nicole, and Kim had adult cuddles. So that happened. I think everyone was kind of shocked. I definitely had the morning announcements that day.
Definitely did. It was definitely like, wake up.
Where was you at, girl? Right. But yeah, so that definitely happened. And then we also are seeing Tom and Sophia, we're seeing their connection develop some more in episode 5 and episode 6. Their connection is continuing to develop, and I also see a connection with Amanda and Corey. It's subtle, but it's starting to develop as well. And so I've been kind of like, okay, what's about to happen? I'm seeing some sparks flying. How are you feeling about Tom and Sophia so far?
So, in the beginning, I am someone who can say my opinion has changed. In the beginning, I was kind of side-eyeing it just because, Chelsea came in strong. She's like, he's known for being extremely flirtatious. I don't know if I can trust him. And so when I first saw him being flirtatious with the flower and everything, I was like, that's a little too much for me. However, once I started seeing Chelsea in her own little villa, and she's over here not getting cozy with one person, but two.
I need two.
Not necessarily locking lips, but, she was developing emotional ties with people. And I'm like, okay, no, you guys are on the same playing field. So two can play that game. Two take people. Let me get it together. It takes two to tango. So they both were tangoing in their different villas.
Yes. You just said it. Now I want to introduce Joanne while we go over episode 6, Unexpected Loss. That was a good one too. I want to take a moment and welcome Joanne to our chat. Joanne is another single that you guys love on Temptation Island. Yes, I've been seeing the tweets. You guys are like, oh, where's this man? He's fine. Where did he come from? Joanne. Welcome to Tula Unfiltered. Okay, with
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, my bad. I had to download, undownload, and re-download while Aaron is like messaging me saying I'm being mean on Twitter or whatever. Well, I didn't even say anything mean.
Oh my goodness. Listen, you're here, right? So
yeah,
she's saying you're being mean. I don't even think you're being mean. What? You were being honest. She's talking about the chat
to see what was said on the timeline.
Right.
I think pretty much. I think once she screenshotted and sent it to me, it was about me being tipsy trying to talk to Aaron because it feels like a 9-to-5 job. I was drunk, like trying to like hold a conversation with somebody. It's like it's hard. So that's what I was saying. Yeah, but I'm saying like if you're drunk trying to hold a conversation with somebody and they just like came from like a bonfire or whatever they came from, it's kind of hard. You know what I'm saying?
You that's your home girl.
It is what it is.
Why you do her like that? But listen, I want to jump into a recap of episode 6. So that episode was titled Unexpected Loss. And I literally just wanted to grab tissue the entire episode because I felt like that episode, although it was a little like slower pace, it really showed us a lot of like sides for you, for Kristen. Like it put things into perspective, definitely that conversation that you had with Kristen. You guys both shared a loss with people that you were close with over drug addiction. And, tell us a little bit just how that conversation went down. Like, how did y'all even get to that space? Because I know her guards were up, at first.
So they didn't show prior to that. So I decided to, to open her, to get her talking. Mm-hmm. We did a little picnic thing together, like at the sunset or whatever. I came out, put the food together. Like they didn't show that, but I did that, and then we started talking.
You know how to plan picnics,
huh? You
know how to plan picnics.
Yeah, it's like the easiest date to do. If I don't want to pay for nothing, that's the number one go-to.
Okay. Proceed.
But so we were just talking, and then we were talking about like her family members, stuff like even at the other day when we were with Aaron and Evan, we were talking about her family and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Going into the lavender. At the picnic, she said she had something to tell me, but she's not ready yet. I was like, okay, like it might be something, but it's like not that big. Yeah. So I didn't expect her coming to the lavender field to lay all that on me. Wow. So like I wasn't prepared. So when she laid that on me, it was like a trigger factor of like what happened to me. Yeah. So that's why when you actually see my tears like come down during it. Yeah. Like it wasn't just like I'm trying to hold it back. I just let it all out. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like you really like let this on me, and it was just like a trigger factor for me of what happened back then. I didn't know it was like held so deep, and it just like came shooting straight up. But,
Yeah, I definitely commend both of you guys for being vulnerable, because that is something that, it's a difficult conversation. It's definitely emotional. And I truly felt for Kristen as well, because she had previously expressed, like, how she doesn't really want to rely on anyone to help her, deal with things. Like she doesn't allow Julian to help her get through those difficult conversations. So for her to, one, realize that about herself, but then also allow herself to have that difficult conversation with you, I know that was probably like something totally new for her, like probably scared the crap out of her. But I really do commend her for being so vulnerable, and just you too. It sucks that that situation happened to the both of you guys, but the fact that, you guys were able to bond over it and it was just a moment of growth, I feel like I thought was very beautiful, honestly. That was probably one of my like most memorable moments of that episode.
Yeah, for sure. And me and her always like talking aside. I was like, oh, here, like even before that, I was like, oh, here it goes. Like it's about to be a lot of tear jerking for us.
Yeah.
It definitely was. But yeah, it was a good moment because it taught me how to be vulnerable with somebody, and we connected that way because we shared the same story.
Yeah. Most
So
definitely.
that was pretty. That was a pretty cool thing because I never shared it with anybody, like how I actually feel.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I saw too that was a good opportunity for you. I saw you spreading awareness about helplines for people who may be having a substance abuse problem. Can you share the hotline or the resource that I think you tweeted it out or you put on your Instagram page?
yeah, to be honest, it's because I got like different countries like also follow me in like the States. So you have to really look up your country and your region. But I have for the US, it's called American, I think, Addiction Center.
Mm-hmm.
They have a website that contacts you with other hotlines, and you can also look up your state's center or addiction centers as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't have like the exact number.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's all good. That's definitely all good information. And two, I'm a big advocate for mental health awareness as well too. So, if you have been dealing with issues, or if you feel like you don't have anyone to talk to, I definitely recommend people going to NAMI.com, NAMI.com. It stands for the National Alliance on Mental Illness. They're the largest grassroots organization for mental illness, and they have a helpline that really connects you to all types of support. So whether it's you going through something, or if you're witnessing someone going through something and you don't know how to handle it, definitely recommend you guys check them out. But I don't want to stay too heavy. I know that was a little heavy. Then let's pick it back up a little bit, because the more spice has definitely happened on the show. So first of all, we're seeing Chelsea and Blake canoodling. They were canoodling the last episode, and they're getting closer and closer again today. Let's talk about that, because like we said before, she was complaining about Tom flirting with people, and homegirl. Now you were in the house with her, Jamon. What at this point, what is happening with
Please pour the
Chelsea and Blake?
I didn't really talk to Chelsea like that. It was kind of hard to talk to her because when I first, no shame on her, she's like a cool person, whatever. But I couldn't hold a minute conversation with her, to be honest, because we just did not relate like that. But as far as her, like, she was into Tom and she's calling Blake, like, I don't get her. So she was calling Blake the fake, and I was there for it. I know why she did it. You know what I'm saying? I know why people were calling it, and it doesn't show on the show. They were calling Blake the fake because every time the camera would come around him, he'll change his words and he'll act like how he said the father of the group. But when the cameras go away, he's like, all right, whoo, you know what I'm saying? So that's why they say Blake the fake. Another thing they don't show is the real reason why Chelsea felt uneasy with Tom is one of the nights, I guess Tom and Chelsea, they were like by themselves by the jacuzzi, and I forgot exactly the exact words, but Tom said something to Chelsea that didn't rub her the right way. So it was that plus I'm thinking she's jealous. Plus him like trying to talk to Erica as well. But he's right because
Tom was trying to talk to Erica.
Was he really trying to talk to Erica?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
I mean,
that's another angle. I was not aware of this.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because Chelsea, she don't know what she wanted to do, and then that's why after that situation at the hot tub, he was like, "Oh, okay." She don't know what she wants in life, so he's going to go for Erica, who he was initially attracted to, you know. So I don't know. He still shouldn't have been kicked off. It was an emotional night that night.
Yeah, that seems to be a trend within the girls' villa with you guys.
But I feel
say that again.
It seems to be a trend. A lot of emotions running high, like with the single guys.
Nah, it's Nicole tweets about this all the time, like how there's more crying at the boys' villa than ours. I don't think that's true. I'm not even going to touch on her anyways. But it's only because when you're around somebody or a group for so long, you start to build friendships. Of course, it's like being at camp and then damn at the last day of camp, now you separate from your friend. You know what I'm saying? So it's that type of emotions, and I'm sure you felt that same way with being with the girls.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just feel like some of the single guys were definitely more spicier, like just in general, like just catty. Honestly, some of the guys were catty.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I feel like it may have been emotional, but even at least so I'm an outsider. So from what I was seeing from just watching it, Tom seemed very catty. He seemed a little sneaky too. And then I feel at the elimination that really came out, and it kind of was like, maybe she did make a good choice eliminating him, because it didn't really seem like he was ever fully for her anyways.
Well, yeah, that's true. But there's one thing that Tommy did not do was like be fake, or like he'll tell you what he's thinking straight up, and he'll tell you flat out like sex or kiss, stuff like that. He'll tell you straight out. I didn't know about the hot tub scene with all three guys. That kind of made it worse.
Yeah, that was.
I didn't know about that one.
That was crazy. That was a little cringe.
Now, speaking of combos, so I definitely, and I'll say this before we go to tonight's episode, I tried to have a conversation with Kendall in episode 6. You guys see me braiding his hair. Yes, did it for the culture. Y'all, first of all, you got to understand, Kendall has soft hair. His hair was not that long. Like, my grip game was on point. So I'm sitting here trying to focus braiding his hair, but then I'm also trying to get information from him. Like, I'm trying to give him the opportunity to let us know, like, yo, do you really want to leave the island with your girlfriend? Like, if she was doing what you're doing over there, how would you feel? And I'm not going to lie, like, his answer made me so frustrated. Like, I kind of wanted to take the comb and just pop him in his head, because it's like, you keep saying she knows what I came here for. She knows what, and I was just like, dude, like, ugh. But yeah, so that happened. Go back and watch episode 6 if you haven't. But tonight's episode, we had another elimination. Yeah. So the girls that left, we had Maddie and Grace. They left the island. And then, which I was so sad. Like, I love them too. They definitely should have gave them more camera time. But then the boys, Shaq and Javon, Dave. Yes. Shaq and Dave left. And once again, I felt like the guys threw a hissy fit being eliminated. Sorry, Shaq, but he kind of threw a little fit.
Tonight.
What?
It's like
you said what?
I think Shaq threw a slight little fit. He was a little salty, just a little bit.
I don't know. Maybe Luan will give a little bit more insight, but I feel like that relationship with Shaq and Aaron was forced anyways. Like, she was just humoring him, like, or at least that's what it looked like. She was just humoring him to like get it going. But he didn't give a hissy fit. It just seemed too emotional for what it looked like their bond wasn't. So it was just like, I don't know.
He was definitely invested into her. I'll tell you that. So the emotions were valid on his side. You know what I'm saying? Right. I didn't say it was like the logical emotions, but his emotions because he was fully invested. That's the only girl he had eyes on and stuff like that. So he felt betrayed. So that's why he felt that way. And I'm not mad at him because he didn't talk to nobody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even she felt some type of way or whatever. I guess, you know, people say it was fake tears or whatever. But then she said, I forgot what she said exactly, but she said that I'm only looking here. I'm only here to. I'm tired. Oh, I'm tired of.
She went
tired
to put herself first.
to. I'm tired of trying to make other people happy. I'm trying to make myself happy. So that got me thinking, like, oh, so Shaq didn't make you happy. So so maybe there wasn't really a connection then.
Yeah.
What is here to actually is. But she kept saying, "You're the only person I was close to." So I don't know.
Well, let's pull up some of the tweets from tonight because Twitter was definitely popping. I mean, between the ABC party, the toga party, Chicken Gate happened, that whole situation with Maya, Amanda, and the chicken. Let's pull up some
defend Maya. I'm waiting for that tweet because I actually want to defend Maya.
Yeah, I want to know about that. You're the only one that knows that situation.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay, we'll get there after I read this tweet. So, one tweet says, so I basically brought my girlfriend to Temptation Island so I could flirt with other girls. Now my girlfriend is flirting with other guys and I'm not happy. It was only supposed to be me flirting with people. That's what I heard from Tom. Okay.
Yep.
I thought Chelsea was the one that
Chelsea brought him to the island.
Well, that's one tweet. See, sometimes I hate people tweeting because sometimes they don't make sense. Like sometimes they don't watch the show. Like when other people like pop up, like Lex, some people are tweeting, "Oh, where did Lex come from?" Like, have you not watched the show from like the first episode, or like when I was on the Lost episode? Like, oh, where did he come from? I've never seen it. Like, dude, episode 3, episode 4. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm there. Like, obviously, you're not watching. You feel me?
Right. But I mean, again, Chelsea and Tom's dynamic, it's definitely like right now, they're both doing the same thing to each other. They both are in a relationship, but they are catching feelings for other people and they're getting hurt when they see their partner interact with someone. So that's what we're seeing right now. But yeah, next week.
I will say though, even about that tweet though, I do agree with what they were saying about Tom a little bit, just because I definitely think both of them are being hypocritical because they both are actually both flirts. So she shouldn't have just been complaining about him being a flirt, but the attitude he had from the beginning, and I think what put a lot of people a little amiss in the beginning was like, he's like, well, she just needs to accept my flirty ways. What's wrong with my flirty ways? And so in the beginning, we're like, I kind of feel for her because why is he just so like blatantly out there with his flirty ways? And so, but then once this episodes kept going, now you're like, maybe it's both of you. But honestly, I feel like they already knew they weren't compatible. And this was really an excuse for them to go their separate ways because she didn't seem that satisfied at all in her relationship at all. And she kept harnessing on the flirtatious stuff, but then the minute she got a little breakaway, my girl was gone. Like she was like, "What?"
And I feel like with that iPad video or their message, like Tom was really hurt by the lack of love that he did not receive from her in that video. So I definitely felt for him.
I feel like Tom definitely is like that outside of the island. Like how easy it is for him, and like I don't know, but I don't see a connection between him and Sophia though.
Oh, Sophia.
I definitely saw a connection while we were on the island.
Yeah, you were right there. But like as a viewer right now, I see it as him looking at. Now, this is not any disrespect for Sophia. It's just like it's like an analogy. So I see it as like a shiny toy. You know what I'm saying? It's something new, something he hasn't seen. You know what I'm saying? He just want to.
That's what I don't like with the edits because the edits is really not showing, and this is no shade towards the editors or anything like that, but you guys are not seeing these conversations that are taking place between Sophia and Tom. Like, I really do feel like the dynamics between them two, Sophia allowed Tom to be himself. He is a very youthful person. Like, he's fun. He's funny. And I felt like Sophia allowed him to be himself unapologetically. Like, he didn't feel bad for flirting or for, just being himself. And even when he would flirt with people, he didn't do it in like a sleazy way. He just has a very youthful spirit about himself. And I feel like him and Sophia were way more compatible than him and Chelsea. That's just my personal views. But we can sit there and debate all day. But yeah, I want to jump into it next week because I know we are running out of time soon.
Oh my gosh. I feel like this always flies so quickly.
I know. So we're going to talk about the 15-year-old gap. Okay, everyone keeps talking about this age gap between Sophia and Tom. Okay, next. I mean, like I said, yeah, Tom is the oldest in the house, but he definitely does not act like an old man. Everyone's grown. Everyone's an adult. That is kind of whack, honestly.
Typically, people's parents are like 10 years apart anyway, so.
Yeah. How are you crying? Why are you crying about your girl holding hands with it? Okay. Did
you not read this?
Can we pull up something about Chicken Gate? Because people are asking about that a lot. So I will say this. So the host now, Raro, what you had something to say about Chicken Gate with Maya and the situation. So for those who didn't see the show, Maya had been cooking. It was a really long day. Yeah. Everyone was hungry. She was making chicken on the stove, and some people wanted to pull a few pieces and put on the grill to get it done quicker, which caused an issue between her and Amanda. And it really exploded. Y'all didn't see anything, honestly. It went left.
Wow.
Yeah. So what was your reaction to that? And if we have a tweet, we can throw that up too in a second.
I thought she was completely justified. When have you ever entered your mother's kitchen or anyone's kitchen? And it's not even like they went and pulled out some Oreos and just nibbled on something. You took the food she was about to cook. You went and cooked it. Then you expected to eat first after she cooked and slaved for a meal for you. I was just like, I'm not understanding it. And then I just feel like, honestly, I know you were sad about your friend Maddie leaving, but I'm like, I feel like she needed to go. Like, that was so rude. And her like reaction to it, I just thought it was uncalled for. And I felt like bad because I felt like Julian was like, what? She's acting so crazy. I was like, what's crazy? Like, I'm just not understanding.
I agree with that. I didn't, I love Maddie, but yeah, or like I'm not going to argue with 32. Like, all her little snarky like comments,
right?
It wasn't necessary. Definitely. If everybody didn't eat, why you keep getting 4 pieces? You know what I'm saying? Like 5 pieces. Let everybody eat. Everybody eats. B. I tweeted that.
I have to tell y'all that night was like absolute mayhem. So I was sick. Like, my allergies were kicking my butt at that point. So like, when I tell you, I felt like that one meme where like tissue is just up your nose, you're so congested, just stopped up. My head felt like an airhead. Like, I felt like crap. I just wanted to eat something and go lay down. And like, all this stuff is taking place. And I'm like, I love Amanda. I love Maya. Like, I just want everyone to calm down, not fight. So y'all literally see me in the background holding my cup, just like, not right now. Like, so much stuff got cut out, but I literally was like, I don't want to be in the middle of this. Like, can we just get along? But yeah, so it definitely put some things into perspective, and I'm glad she did not get eliminated, because I did not want Maya to get eliminated based off of that situation. But yeah, like, a lot went down. Do we have time for one more tweet? Make it a good one. Maya bipolar when it comes to food. LOL, I don't blame her. Don't come messing with my cooking vibes. Listen, Robert, that's like what you said. Don't come in my kitchen disturbing my food. She's not bipolar though. Someone said, sick of seeing Kendall. Can somebody else cheat off?
Honestly, to be honest,
I'm tired of Kendall.
Well, you guys, on that note, I feel like predictions for the next couple of episodes, I don't know, the way Chelsea and Dr. Blake are canoodling under these palm trees, we might see somebody else cheating on Temptation Island.
For sure. I think Tom and Sophia are finally eventually going to get their first kiss. I don't suspect that. I don't know, but something's going to get cracking there. And like, because now she was so cold in that, what was it, the box note or whatever. Yeah. She was so cold in it. And once men start having doubt in their mind, he's like, oh, she doing something, let me go and do mine, now I'm justified. So and she actually was she was doing a lot. So let him get his little kiss. I think he's fine.
Well, we're going to see what happens on the next episode of Temptation Island. Javon and Robert, I have to thank you guys so much for joining us. I know we had so much to talk about this episode. Make sure you guys go back and rewatch episodes 1 through 4 of Tula Unfiltered. And we will be back here next week for another episode, diving into all the behind the scenes things. I think we're going to go jump on the IG Live real quick because
for sure, I got some
more to talk about. Y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Javon, stay on real quick once this ends.